Hey everybody, it's Chris Kirkpatrick with Life 180, and I have a very special guest with me today, Anthony Trucks with AnthonyTrucks.com. Anthony, man, I'm super excited to have you on the show. And I mean, if you could, I'm going to have you introduce kind of like a little bit of your background and a little bit about kind of who you are, what you do, why you do it. And I think we'll be able to get into a conversation about why you're here, because I'm super excited to be able to like share your wisdom with the audience, because I think there are a lot of people that are struggling in a lot of ways, especially people that are watching the content that I put out there. And I think, them watching this interview is going to be super impactful for them.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on and introduce me to your people, because I do know whenever you have an audience, the scariest thing is putting people in front of them,
So
but it's
true.
also the best thing because it means you care about them and it's not an ego trip. So I appreciate you trusting me with your folks. Hey, folks. Hey, how are you? So I help people make shift happen. That's literally the way I explain it. So you remove the F and that's what it means. And it's in any capacity, not because, I'm like, I can do everything. I am not a jack of all trades. I'm just really good at helping people navigate the internal aspects of what they battle to get to the level of success they seek. I'm a big believer in it's not what you know, but who you are with what you know. And so my realm of work is an identity, and it goes back to my childhood, given away at 3 years old, growing up in foster care, not really knowing who I was. Finally, after a lot of abuse and torture, landing in a family that's my family now, but it's an all-white family, very poor. So I had this weird diversity and who am I? This consistent, identity crisis always in my life. Wasn't even adopted till I was 14, and then I all of a sudden tried something new, and I was horrible at it, got better at it. This thing was football. It was a weird journey of like that identity. And then, dude, man, like it just kept going. Then I ended up getting really good at the game, got a college football scholarship to play football at the University of Oregon. So I got a helmet right here from my playing days, had a kid at 19 years old, met my real dad at 19 years old. A couple years passed. I ended up getting an opportunity to play in the NFL. 3 years in the NFL, tear my shoulder in my third year because NFL stands for not for long. And so I had to figure out what's the next stage of my life. Massive identity crisis. Come home. I had two more kids in my high school sweetheart. We got three kids, and I lose myself, man. Like who was I without football? I'd lost anything. So I knew the stuff. Great mindset, huge work ethic, no success. I was not the guy to achieve at the level I needed to after the game. And so, man, I ended up getting divorced. I wasn't a present father. I was out of shape. Business was almost bankrupt the first 9 months in. I didn't have football. I had nothing. And dude, I was in a fog for like 5 years, and finally got to this moment in time after my mom had passed away. And I realized there's got to be more to my life, because I didn't, listen to this weird statistics. If you look at any prison in America, 75% of the inmates are former foster kids. Less than 1% of us graduate from college, and we make up more than half of the homeless population. So like we don't have much statistics in our world. My adoptive mom loved me past that crazy. So when she passed, I was like, I'm going to figure my life out first. Then I'm gonna go figure out how to give this to other people in a positive way. And so I navigated my own crazy. I figured out who I needed to be to get the success I wanted in life. And 3 years after divorce, remarried my ex-wife, have an amazing marriage. We're healthy. We're happy. I got happy kids. I got that life thing on track. And now I've been able to be on American Ninja Warrior and NBC. I speak for companies like T-Mobile and Amazon and PayPal and consult them. I've built a business around teaching people how to make crazy, amazing things happen. And it's not just the information. I think we're in a world of what's called shelf esteem right now. I get it. It feels good. It goes on the shelf. I never look at it. I don't open the course. I don't read the book. And if you're lucky, if you're one of those 10%, it goes in the shelf of your mind. But only 3% of people put it into life. And that's where shift happens. And the difference in those people, it's not the info. Yeah. It's who they are with it. And so my work is around getting you to become that person who I say pretty much lives in the zone. Like, the zone, my man. Like, you're just I'm getting it. Sports crisp is like my thing. Yep. There's times you're in just this crazy, like you're confident. Nope. You're impenetrable. Everything's on, man. When you get to that level, it's who you are, dude, everything clears out of the way. And so my job is to get people into that zone, and then everything becomes amazing firepower for life.
I love it, man. So life, for everybody who's like watching this for the first time, Life 180 is an acronym for living intentionally for excellence. And the 180 is all about turning life around. So that's kind of where the shift kind of comes into it, right? Like most people are not happy with the results that they're getting in life, right? And so I work with a lot of people with their money and financial strategy, and I coach life insurance agents, and we have, different unique strategies that they coach people through as well. And so right now, I mean, I know the people that I'm consulting and coaching, there's a lot of people that are struggling. I mean, like the life insurance market. So a lot of people that are watching this are going to be life insurance agents. If I get out of my, probably 60% of my followers, it's 6,000 life insurance agents following me here on YouTube. Right. So it's like, taking that into consideration, the demographics are older, right? Like you're talking about 45 to 55-year-old people. Actually, I think the average is higher than that, but for my audience, that's about the average. And a lot of people are not comfortable dealing with the world in the way that we have to deal with it now from a sales perspective on, building their business, right? So like when COVID happened, everybody just got their whole world turned upside down. I mean, you did. We were talking about that before we started. I did. People that are used to going out and having a sales career, that are used to going to networking events, used to kind of like doing things the old school way. All of a sudden, they're like, "Holy crap! Where am I going to find people? How am I going to talk to people? Where am I going to reach people?" And you were saying it's like, it's who you are, right? Like you got to kind of like grow into this, and you got to make this decision. Like you had things happen to you, I had things happen to me, but we're going to figure it out, right? Like it's just,
it's more than that. Yeah. I mean, the truth is they've lost an identity, which is I was the person that did X, Y, and Z. And especially harder with my older clients, because what I'm teaching them and talking to about the language is, but I don't do that. I'm not the person that does that. I don't know how to do that. And what they're doing is like they're identifying as that. My kid yesterday, my wife and him were having a little argument. She's like, "Why are you like acting like a funky buddy?" He goes, "Well, it's who I am." And my wife goes, "No, it's not who you are. It's who you're choosing to be."
Oh,
right? It's a vast difference. And what I find is these individuals, and anybody, we kind of know what to do. We look at it and go, "I don't do that. That's not who I am." And then we wonder why we don't get the results of the people doing it. And we assume it's, they're lucky or they're just different. Like, no, they're just doing different. And it boils down to this. This is where I try to get people to grasp why the identity portion is big. And it's a simple concept. A lot of my clients, they'll tell them what to do. They have the insight. And I show week after week to do it. I didn't get it done. Why not? I had this and this and this and this pop up, and I had this going on. All right, bro, get it done. And the next week comes up, you do it. No, I didn't. I had this and this and this. And I go, okay, let's have a little conversation here. So you had the kids were here. Yeah, kids were showing up. I had work. I was tired. My wife needed this happened. Like, okay, great. Would the person who has all the success you want make these same excuses? It's a question that they go, "Oh, yeah, no." And I go, "No, they wouldn't." So you tell me, is the issue the information, or is the issue the individual with the information and how they perceive the situation? Because for me, I had a client tell me, "Hey, I got 4 speeches in the next 4 weeks, so I gotta put some stuff on hold. I gotta wait till later." And I go, "Well, I am a speaker by trade, and I do the exact same thing sometimes." And I say, "Well, how long is the speech?" It's like, 45, 50 minutes. Okay, great. How long are you preparing for those? Maybe an hour or 2 before. Okay, great. So that's let's say 16 hours. Where in the world are you spending the other 24 hours of your life that you can't get the rest of this done on a regular work day, right? So you're telling me that these 16 hours shuts you down, bro? Give the dream up. Like because whatever you're asking for, here's the crazy thing. You're asking for that success. That success is going to be more responsibility than you have right now. If you aren't prepared for what comes with the dream you want, then you can't handle it. If you're not the person, it won't come to you in the first place. So I talk to people like, look, at the end of the day, again, it's not the information. Who are you with it? Because this is a true piece of it, Chris. When you get to the flow, like I'll lay things out and people go, "Oh, it's a lot." And I go, "It is a lot." It's a lot for your identity right now. Yeah. But I'm telling you right now, when you get to a point identity-wise where it's like normalcy, it'll feel just as easy to do that much more than it does now. It's just your cadence is just too low. It's just all it is. Your cadence is off, right? Because the truth of it is, what you're talking about is too much. Like I do that on Wednesday morning between 8 and noon, and you're telling me you can't do it all week. And I am not special, but here's the thing. It's who I've identified as. So where it's stressful for you to do it, it's stressful for me to not do it because I'd be out of alignment with myself. This is where a lot of the things that I work with anybody come into play.
Well, and I mean, do you think that people don't identify because they're just scared? I mean, they're scared of failing, they're scared of growing into it, or they're scared of like imposter syndrome. They're scared of, you know, I'm a big believer. So like, I think one of the things that drives me personally when people are like, whoa, Chris, how do you create so much content? How do you do this? How do you do that? It's like, I have the mindset that if it's worth doing, it's worth doing poorly until you're good at it. So like, I have no ego around anything. It's like, if I want to do it, and if I feel like if it's going to be worth accomplishing, I'm willing to just go out and suck. You know, I'm willing to just, it can't be about my ego. It's about serving people, and it's about creating something that I think is worthy. And it's just gotta be, it's just, you know,
you just called it. Your identity is tied not to the outcome, but tied to the people. So you know that in order to serve the people, you got to put something out, and it's got to figure it out. Right. So your identity is tied to the impact, not the outcome for you. So because of that, it's easier to go into these things. And I don't think it's a fear as much, right? Because there's fear of failures, fear of these things going on. Sure. To be honest, it's this sacrificing of the old self people are afraid of doing, because the evil I know is better than the evil I don't. You know, like I know this guy, and I can do this. I'm gonna do this, and if I got to do that, that means everything I've been doing is wrong, and so the ego rears up, right? The truth of it, like you said, it's like this thing is the ego. I call it EGO, everyone's greatest obstacle. That thing becomes the barrier. I don't think that we're usually afraid of doing the thing. We're afraid of losing face, you know, which you did call imposter syndrome.
Yep.
But I mean, when you're not tied to the actual, you know, we'll call it financial outcome or something, then it's just you doing things to get to the destination where you feel like you want to get, which is like, I want to serve people. Great. What is that? What's the path to get there? Well, I'm gonna have to put stuff out imperfectly and let my people perfect it by telling me what's wrong with it. But when they tell me it's horrible, if my identity is tied to it, I as a human feel horrible. However, if my identity is tied to the outcome, I go, thank you so much for showing me the holes so I can fix it for you. Thank you. It's a different sense when my identity is tied to the thing that it should be.
It's so funny. It's like, it's just that like radical self-accountability too, right? It's like, I mean, you have to have that. And I think having that coach, it'd be interesting. I'd love to have you come on. So I don't know, you know, my wife, Hannah, you know, she just won the Mrs. American pageant.
Awesome. Congratulations, dog.
Thank you. That makes me Mr. American, by the way.
Hey, it does, bro. When you gotta get a shield, you better get a shield with a star on it, man.
I knew I married her for a reason. So
you've got to get that picture.
I know.
Got to get a picture like a shield, or like wearing a Captain America. That'd be phenomenal. You drop it. The fact you don't have that yet, you have dropped the ball.
I know. I got to get on it. But like, you know, it's cool because we just started this podcast called Business with Benefits. And dude, I didn't even know the story that you said about your wife, where you guys were married, got divorced, and then got remarried.
Yeah.
It's
a weird journey.
That's for real, man. Like, I don't know if you know mine and Hannah's story, like, but we were separated for almost a year at one point in time back in 2009. And like Hannah's been sober since that point in time, you know, for 12 years now. And, we started this podcast called Business with Benefits because a big passion of ours is helping couples that are navigating this entrepreneurial journey. Like, you know, there's all this advice out there. There's the Grant Cardones and the Gary V's and all these people that are like, hustle. And that's great until you're married and you've got 3 kids and you're trying.
Yeah, you can't do that. I'm not built like that at all.
Like all that stuff. And so we're like, man, like there's very few people that are like willing to be vulnerable enough and be real enough and talk as a couple and get out there and get the information, like, and just share your story and realize, like, I think one of the biggest challenges for people is they feel alone. They feel like totally unique, and they don't, because nobody's really willing to be authentic, or very few people are willing to be like authentic and real and just, you know, and it's like, you don't got it all figured out. I don't got it all figured out. Like, you know, nobody does, right? Like you said it at the beginning, you're amazing at what you do and what you know. And that's that's your unique space. Same for me, you know? And so it's like, I would love to have, I don't know if your wife's open to it. I haven't seen her really get public, but
I would love her to. She won't do it, man.
She won't do it?
Here's the thing. My wife, she runs a like multi-million-dollar business in a whole different realm.
Okay.
And I've asked her, bro, so many times to come on. She's not ashamed of it, by the way. Like, we talk about it openly. There's no problem there. But she's like, I just don't do that. She's like, I'm not an interview person. Like, there's people who are like, hey, we have got people asking us to do written interviews. She's like, I don't want to do it. I don't care to do it. It's super odd, bro. It's super. One of these days, I may buckle her down, get her drunk, and make her talk. No, I'm just kidding.
She'll kick. She'll kick. You know, maybe
But,
she'll have a pivot point at some point in time.
dude, I would love if you can figure out the magic sauce to get her to talk, bro. I'd love it to happen, but her butt will not do it. It's so weird because to be honest, she's incredible. She runs track right now, bro. She's out there. So she didn't do collegiate track because she had my son, right? So we had her kid earlier. So she didn't do sport in college. So when she turned like 36, she's like, I want to go start my clock for college. She has her master's already. She's out there running with the college kids, killing them, bro. I'm not like, she's not dead serious, bro. She's like, out there.
Is she like running college or like, is she doing the masters?
Running collegiate track. She's doing masters and that. So she started in masters and realized she could do collegiate because her clock didn't start for sports. So she's running at a local college. Yes, I'm dead serious. And she won't talk about all this. She doesn't want to go share. She's like, it's just for me. I do my life, which is cool. But she's like, I don't care to do what you do. She's like, I don't want to be talking in front of people. So
that's amazing, man.
It is amazing, and it also sucks.
Like inspirational too, dude. Like,
right?
Come on.
I don't know.
That's so cool. Well, so let's kind of get back to this. Like, so no, but I mean, I could. That's so awesome. So like with people right now that are dealing with all these challenges and pivots and, you know, the uncertainty, like having to learn new skills, because like I've been saying for, you know, the last year, like COVID is like changed the world forever, right? Like it's pushed like the idea we're doing these. I mean, you and I would probably have done Zooms no matter what, but like I know like a lot of my clients 5 years ago when I was helping them try to, you know, get financial clients, nobody would want to do Zoom interviews and everybody was so concerned about it. And, you know, it was just this uncertainty. And now it's like, nobody wants to meet in person. Everybody wants to do Zoom interviews. Right. And like, so all the people who, you know, are financial people, like financial advisors and life insurance agents, whereas you only had, you know, access to this little pool in your backyard. Now everybody has an open, you know, open border to be able to reach people, but their only challenge is right here, right? Like on the back of my shirt here, on the back of my shirt, I have a saying, it's change your thinking, change your actions, change your life. Right.
100%. Yeah, I fully agree.
And it all starts with thinking, but ultimately the life that we want to live is going to be dictated by the actions that we take, which is dictated by the thinking that we have. Right. But not everybody, and you said it, not everybody that has the right thinking actually implements it. Right. Like, there's a lot of courses, a lot of books, a lot of stuff on shelves that nobody implement.
Yeah. Or it's, you know what it ends up being is it becomes, let's say, for example, there are some people that can begrudgingly get themselves there. And here's where I try to give people like a concept. Let's call like take neuroscience into account. We have inside of us something's called like it's called the decision tank, right? There's a theory based on like the ability for us to make certain decisions will drain our brain. So after a while, like we don't want to make any more choices. That's why Steve Jobs, what did he do? Make choices all day. So what did he do? I don't want to choose what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a black turtleneck and some pants, bro. Like that's what I'm a rock. The presidents, most of them like have one or two suits because they don't want to think about it. It's simple. And so what ends up happening is you go, okay, great. Well, if I wanted to, you know, pretty much get myself through a day, I need to make the least amount of decisions possible. Doesn't mean I don't work. There's a difference. Decisions and work are different. So look at it like this. Let's say to move the needle forward for the business and whatever, let's say the insurance people, I got to get up and I got to get a morning routine in, maybe catch a workout. Maybe I got to, you know, look at my phone call list. I got to call today. I got to follow up with a bunch of emails. I got to, you know, do a couple paperwork pieces. I got to do these things. And I got to get up and say, do I do the workout? Do I write the email? Do I make this phone call? Do I get the, do I? So let's say you got up at, let's just say you got up at, I don't know, 8 o'clock, right? And by the time you get to noon, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been deciding, I don't want to do the workout or I'll do the workout, write the email, but I don't want to. Okay, I'll write the email, make these calls. Okay, by noon, you're taxed. You've been deciding all day long. Here's the difference, man. I wake up, first off, I get up at 6 because I'm going to get up earlier than you and get ahead of the ball, right? Yep. And I didn't have to decide. It's just who I am, right? Yep. When you're thinking, should I get a workout? I got to get a workout. It's who I am, right? The emails, it's who I am to get back on emails. It's who I am to make these calls. It's who I am to get to this next meeting. It's who I am to have it's who I am. I'm not deciding like this. If I got to stay in alignment, I feel horrible if I miss the workout, if I miss the call. It doesn't align with me, right? So by the time I get to, let's say noon, I've already got 6 hours into year 4. I'm already 2 hours ahead. Let's think about this. Noon, what happens at noon? Well, where your tank is empty, I'm still like at 80%. I made a couple choices, but it's who I am. I can work until 4. Say I work until 4, right? So what happens is When you got done at 4 hours of work, I got 10 in. So at the end of a year, I've got almost 2 years to your 1 year.
250%,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's that's why people are like, how do they keep winning? Because I made it who I am to do these things. And when it becomes who you are, that's the thing. It's the same information. Some people will begrudgingly do the work, but they never identify as the human who does. Therefore, they burn out. We call it burnout. Well, it ain't burnout if it's who you are.
Well, that's amen. And I never thought about it like that. I never put it into that context. But, what I always kind of tell people that I consult with is, especially in this space, when you're dealing with like people's money, people have to trust you implicitly, there's not much more important in our life as faith, family, money. I mean, money impacts it all. Right. Like, and so it really comes down to the fact that if you're begrudgingly, and I never thought about it like this before, but if you're begrudgingly trying to get through it, and you may know the information, you may like get through and have the intellect and be able to help people and coach people and, build the spreadsheet to get them where they want to go. But is that really going to get them to want to trust you and work with you? No, but if it's who you are and you embody everything about it and you're passionate about it and you're authentic and you're just excited to show up and serve and like get your message and mission out there every single day, that's really what's going to attract people to want to work with you, especially when we're getting into this world where everybody's got access to the information and the people and the experts and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff all over the place. Like you have to, I think you have to, that self-identification is probably the most important thing. And I never thought about it that way until you just said it.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, it's funny this work's been around for a lot of years, but no one's taken the science of it and applied it. Because the truth of it is, when people ask, well, what's your identity, Anthony? That's a question I get. And they think it's some ethereal, spiritual, separate. Well, to be honest, it actually exists in what's called the default mode network in your brain. And it's it marries with something called the mirror neuron system. We don't got to go into the depths of any of this right now, but just look at it this way. Sure. Your identity is actually who you are when you aren't consciously thinking about who you are. So when you're almost just like doing life. And the thing is, that's what you talked about, actions change your life. So let's say somebody cuts me off in traffic. Well, my identity will say they cut me off because they hate me, horrible person, honk, cuss out the window.
Sure.
My identity can also go, that person probably in a rush to get somewhere. Maybe their wife is sick. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, right? It's just, but you don't consciously think about that. It's a reaction. Yeah. Most of us react in life. We don't respond.
Totally.
And so like the reaction, it's showing me who your identity is. And then when you want to shift it, most of the time it's like, I'm going to choose response now. Because when I want to shift it, I got to be aware of the identity of how it wants to come out right now and go, man, that's not the way that I need it. That's not the way the person who has what I want handles this client canceling on me, or, somebody being late with a payment, or this, whatever it may be, the market adjusting and shifting when I didn't know COVID happening. The person who has the success I want, they wouldn't handle it that way. That's not who they would be. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to breathe for a second and go, man, I really want to do this, but I'm going to breathe for a second. Okay. What's the best way to respond to this? Right. So I'm going to actively choose. And what's crazy, the more you actively choose, the less it becomes a conscious choice. Now it becomes a reaction later on.
Yeah.
And that's the motion.
Yeah. No, man. I think that's so powerful. I think it's so powerful. Well, so let me ask you this, because I know we got a stop coming up here too, but I think it would be super valuable for anybody to plug in to you and your world and your YouTube channel and Instagram. Like, how can everybody find you?
Go outside. You got to get a purple flare gun and you got to shoot up into the sky.
Nice.
You got to do spin 3 times and go, Anthony. No, I'm just kidding. We're building the YouTube channel finally. Nice. We've been nudged enough to do it. So we're putting content out there. We spend majority of time Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn somewhat, mostly Instagram. But if somebody's there going, man, this is cool stuff. Like, how do I get that? Because what I do, I think we're in this world of information. I don't give more information. I give a system to apply what you already know and to get you in, like, to live. I say living in that zone. It's not about getting in it for a day or an hour. Like, I want you to live in that space where you look back and go, damn, I was a whole different person back then. I'm on fire right now, and you live in that space. It's a true, actual human transformation. That's what it is. And we work through what's called the shift method, multiple ways to go through it. We have like literally 4, maybe again, we talked about 5 tiers. We're going to add 1 piece to it. like to the program, but the method itself, man, it exists. It's operational. It's functional. I've got executives that work at Amazon that I work it through. I've been to the company of Amazon. I've been to PayPal, been to T-Mobile, and taught them these things and actually spoke on it. And then I also have a lot of clients that are moms and dads and also $10 million a year business owners, right? Because it's a human tool. So if somebody wants to find a way to navigate and make shift happen in their life, man, just reach out to me. Go to whatever platform. Or if you're like, hey, I like this guy, I want to find out more, you can easily go to what's called trucksteam.com. And my team, you can fill a little application out. They get that. They take a look at the details. They set up a call with you. Okay. And their whole job in that manner there, it's not to be like, work with us, but it's to listen and see if what we do could work, right? Because let's be honest, I am not a fit for everybody. No. Some people that they just, like I found that individuals who are at like around like that 10 figure and above, like that's a different realm. They don't need the human tool. They need to learn how to teach humans. They need to go hire a company that can come in, and they need departments sometimes, right? But the human, like most people that can be solopreneurs building up, like if you haven't cracked like that $2-3 million realm, like that, you most definitely will benefit from this work.
That's amazing. So I was listening to your live this morning as I was dropping the kids off to school. I had it going on. So my kids were listening to you too. So just so you know, like,
yeah, I love it.
Motivation.
I don't cuss.
Yeah. And I loved what you were saying about, it was about coaching and like the role of a coach, and the role of a coach isn't to tell you how to do it or tell you what to do. Like can you talk about that just here real quick? Cause I think it's really important for people that are looking to go through this pivot and they're needing to pivot and they don't know what to do. And it was all about becoming more and being that person. Like, so just you do your thing.
Yeah. You gotta shift the pivot, man. Cause if I want to go somewhere new, I gotta be somebody new most of the time. No, what I looked into was like, I'm a guy that played professional sports. And anytime I did, I had a coach, right? I've always been, because we can push ourselves to a certain level, but like you kind of need someone to drag you past. Like I am a guy that owned a gym for a lot of years, degree in kinesiology. I know how to write workouts. I was doing them for Pro Bowlers, but when it came to my own workout, you just inherently, you don't kill yourself. Yeah. You try, but it's hard to kill yourself. So I hired somebody to write programs for me. I know how to do what he does, but the difference is immense because it allows me to get to a spot where I can get someone to extract out of me more than I'm used to doing, so I can build the pride of myself and the accomplishment. But two, I can only see for the most part what's in front of me. And sometimes I need someone that can see the entire field. Like someone to step in and go, look, I know you're looking at that, but look at this too, right? Sometimes just that new perspective is like a game changer. You go, oh, you're right. Okay, let me go focus on that, right? Or this was a waste of time. And so having somebody in your corner, it's funny, it's outside of the sporting world. People look at it like sometimes like it's this negative, like, oh, you need help because you got a coach. But why is it the people that we all admire, the LeBron James, Serena Williams, all these people, why is it that we admire these humans, but then we think like we don't need a coach like they need a coach? But what are you talking about? It's the most amazing, illogical thing. So I have always, since about 2008, I had a year where I didn't have a coach. Worst year in business. After that, had a coach. Haven't not had a coach since.
Yep. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I have a coach. You have a coach. Like I think you have to, and a lot of times it's good to have multiple coaches, like different coaches, different areas of your life. You know,
I do. Yeah, I do for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, let's finish with this. Do you have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 things, like if people that are sitting there, they're watching this video, they're feeling like they know they need to do something, right? They know that what they're doing right now is not going to get them where they want to go. And they want to make a change, and they just are kind of feeling like uncertain about their ability, uncertain about what they need to do. That you know, like give some advice, give some, you know.
So I tell people you got to own your shift. And at face value, like you're like, all right, I got to own myself. I get it. But like literally the 3 words carry weight. So if I say own, it means you have to own that there's some work you got to do, like beyond what you're doing now. Yeah. And that does mean I got to subside and press the ego back a little bit, right? Own, okay, there's something more I could be doing. Because a lot of people go, I've tried everything. You've tried everything that you know or you feel comfortable doing, right? The coach pulls out that thing you don't feel comfortable doing. And they also present to you stuff you don't see. They see the field. So own there's some work to do. There are situations in this world that are not our fault, but they are our responsibility to show up. The situation with COVID, was nobody's fault, but it's our responsibility to show up to fix our life, because no one's coming in with a cape. No one's going to drop in and say, dun, 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 I got you. Like, so it's your responsibility to do that work once you know there's something to do, right? The last part's shift, and shift is the verb, right? It's you got to actually not only shift inside, but shift how you do things outside. Because a lot of people in life, they know there's a problem. They know they're the problem, but they don't feel like doing the work. And they're just like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I got it. It's going to be too hard, right? You got to commit to actually doing the work. And so if you're sitting here right now, like, what do I do? First, own it. Then realize you got to do this work, and then do what needs to be done to make that shift. I'm telling you, it'll be the most important and powerful thing you do, because here is the thing that few people understand. You've already done it. You just did it accidentally. You took the long way around. That's it. You wouldn't be here now watching this if you hadn't made some kind of shift throughout your life, because every stage needed a new you, but you did it on accident. You did it in survival and in reaction to life. What if you, for the first time, planned that and structured that and said, this is where I want to go because this is who I'm going to be? Take control of it. Because when you do that, man, it's a whole different life you're living. Not even like more like 3 months from now, it could be a different life.
I love that, man. And I'm a big believer. There's opportunity in every environment. And when you embody that mentality, you realize, like, while a lot of people are going to struggle and kind of be stuck in the rut with this, the people that really take on that challenge and own their shift, there's going to be so much more opportunity for them. Like, life is going to be better. Like, I don't want to say easier, but there's going to be more opportunity that arises from it, because it's a smaller pool of people that are willing to step into that.
Very
right?
true, man. So they say the road of success is usually empty, right? Because most people get to that 99% line and go, oh, I'm not willing to give that 1%. Well, guess what? You don't get to become one of the 1% then. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yep, it is true. Well, man, thanks so much for being on here.
Yeah,
I love the conversation, and we'll have to figure out a way to get your wife on sometime. But
right, I gotta get her on. I don't know how to do it. We've been at it for years, and she's just like, oh, I don't want to do it. One day she'll get bored.
Yeah, my wife and I, with our Business with Benefits show, we're looking for couples that are navigating all this stuff together. So if you know anybody, let me know, because
I do know two amazing people. They're me and my wife, and they're not. But you know what? I do know a guy that'd be good. His name's Ron Torrance. I just married him and his wife down in Florida, but they're both doctors. Huh? And I know I'm not. I'm an ordained minister now, though. So
you are.
Yeah, I'm weird.
You, man, that's awesome.
I do a lot of weird stuff. I've done funerals. I've done a funeral, and I've done a wedding now. So yeah, but it's not like something like, oh, you're not going to see my resume. Like, look at me. It's just people ask me to do weird things. I'm like, let's try it, because that's so part of my identity is like, what part of my identity don't I know? Part of me wants to find out those things, so I do weird stuff. But yeah, those are the two cool people to check out for sure.
I love that, bro. That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here, guys. I'll get Anthony's contact information, all the different best ways to get a hold of him, kind of plug into his offerings. I know he's got some free content, all his social media, like his programs, all that different stuff. I'll get you guys hooked up in the description below. Go check it out. But man, thanks so much for being here. And hopefully we can do it again sometime in the future.
Yeah, man, count me in, dude. I would love to. I got a book out coming out in September. Let's do it in September or August.
But let's do it for your book launch, and I will see you at Funnel Hacking Live, guys. If you're not going to Funnel Hacking Live, by the way, this guy's speaking on the stage at Funnel Hacking Live. It's going to be amazing. We'll
do. We're gonna have a blast, man. They let me out of the box. I get to come out of the box again.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Have a blessed, inspirational day. Hopefully you found video. If you did, hit that like button, click the subscribe, hit the bell, that way you get notified every single time we launch a new video. And we'll see you on the next video. Take care.
See you guys.